Today I'm building a thrift store puzzle, and there's just one problem. I don't know if all the pieces are here. My luck with second-hand puzzles hasn't been great so far, but I picked this one up anyways because the image really stood out to me. This is Doughnut, a 500-piece puzzle from Trefl, a brand I don't have much experience with. So as we go, I'll give you my honest thoughts on the quality and what it's like to build. What caught my eye right away was the variety. 35 different unique doughnuts. With all these bright colors, I'm hoping I can sort pieces easily and build each one fairly quickly. There's also a bold red, yellow and blue background, which should give me a bit more structure to work with. For this first build, I'm aiming to finish it in around 90 minutes, but I'd be happy if it comes in under 2 hours. It doesn't look too difficult, but we'll see. As usual, while I build, I'll talk a bit about the Trefl brand, the artwork, and of course the donuts themselves. So grab a cup of coffee or whatever you're into, and let's get started. Alright, so the flip took me just over 5 minutes. While I was flipping the pieces, I pulled out the edge pieces and set those aside. I also started picking out some of the more striking colors from the donuts, so I'm going to focus on building those right now. And while we start with that, let's talk a bit about donuts. There are quite a few origin stories out there. Some of them are pretty fanciful. While I was scrolling Reddit, I came across one theory claiming ring donuts were formed when dough sticks, supposedly twisted into loops during frying, accidentally creating the ring shape and somehow making the shop owner rich. I had a good laugh at that one. The truth is a bit more grounded. Donuts, or versions of fried dough, have been around for centuries. One of the earlier influences came from Dutch settlers in New Amsterdam, or present-day New York, who made something called olykoek, or oil cake. These early versions didn't have holes, which often meant the center would end up undercooked. The modern ring shape is usually credited to 19th century America, with one popular story involving a sailor removing the center so the dough would cook more evenly. Whether that exact moment is true or not, the idea clearly stuck, and the ring donut became what we know today. Donuts are hugely popular and show up everywhere in pop culture. In the United States especially, there's that long-running stereotype of police officers and donuts. Something that really became ingrained through late-night donut shops and media portrayals in the mid-20th century. And I have to admit, while building this puzzle, I was genuinely tempted to go grab some myself. I almost did, but I managed to show some restraint. So let's continue the build and I'll check in again shortly. As we near the 30-minute mark, let me show you my progress so far. I'm finding this to be a really fun and fast-moving image. It's actually quite easy to pick out pieces, usually about 9 to 12 per donut. I pull them, assemble each one, and then move on to the next. So at this point, the desk is slowly turning into a collection of individual donuts that will eventually connect into the full picture. Well, that's the plan anyway. For this one, I'm not going to focus on building the edge anytime soon. It just wouldn't really help speed things up with an image like this. So the strategy is simple. Attack the donuts. Pick one, build it out, move to the next, and keep the momentum going. Now I did try to find an artist for this image, but it doesn't look like there's a single credited illustrator. The puzzle seems to use stock photography, and multiple retailers also describe it that way. The box credits Fotolia, which is a large stock image library made up of contributions from professional and amateur photographers and artists. So unfortunately, there's no clear single artist behind it. It looks like an anonymous commercial image. And even Reddit doesn't seem to have a definitive answer on it either. Either way, it works really well for a puzzle like this. It's been keeping me engaged the whole time. It's fast, colorful, and always giving you something new to work on. Let's build it out a bit more, and then we'll talk about the Trefl brand itself. At around the 58-minute mark, my desk is now filled with dozens of colorful cardboard donuts, so it's time to start connecting everything together. And while we do that, let's talk about Trefl, because this is actually a brand that's been more interesting than I expected. Trefl is a Polish puzzle company founded in 1985 in Sopot, and today they produce everything from small 500-piece puzzles all the way up to large 6,000-piece sets. Their ranges include a few different tiers, such as Standard, Premium, and Premium Plus, with some special editions like metallic or gold ink prints. Now, from my limited experience with them, I've noticed there does seem to be some variation between those lines. The Premium Plus puzzle I built previously was solid, with no false fits during the build. On the other hand, one of the Standard Premium puzzles I worked on did have the occasional false fit, which slowed certain sections down slightly, particularly in larger sky areas. And in this donut puzzle, I've also come across a couple of instances where pieces appeared to fit, but needed to be adjusted later. On a puzzle like this, it's not a major issue. The strong colors and distinct donut designs make it easy to correct as you go, but on different kind of images, like skies or large background sections, it would be more of an issue. That said, I definitely would not call this a low-quality brand. I've built some genuinely low-quality puzzles in the past, and this isn't anywhere near that category. It just seems like there's some variation depending on the line and product range, which is interesting in itself. So it's more of a know what you're buying situation. Premium and Premium Plus aren't necessarily identical experiences, even if the branding is similar. Anyway, let's finish connecting these donuts. As we finish this puzzle off, let's reflect on the journey so far. I really enjoyed this one, and I mean that. The design is simple, but it's a lot of fun. There's always something to work on next, and for some reason, it really had me craving donuts the whole time. It took some self-control not to go out and get some. I also love the structure of the image. With around 35 individual donuts, it's easy to pick out sections and build them one by one. And if you do get stuck, you've got those 3 background colors to fall back on, which naturally break the puzzle into manageable areas. As for the brand, this is now the 3rd puzzle I've built from Trefl, and honestly, it's not a bad brand at all. As long as you know what you're buying and understand the different lines they offer, you can't really go wrong. Unfortunately though, this thrift store puzzle is missing a piece. That makes it my 3rd thrift store puzzle with a missing piece, so the streak continues. It's a bit disappointing, especially since I was hoping to keep this one. For puzzles, I build once or twice and then pass on. It's not a big issue, but for something I want to keep in my collection long term, I do prefer them to be complete. So I'll probably end up giving this one away as well, with a note to let the next person know it's incomplete. But even with that, as we pan across the puzzle, you can really see how enjoyable this image is. If you're interested in trying it yourself, it still seems to be available online, so you should be able to pick it up fairly easily. My final solve time was 1 hour and 48 minutes, which I'm pretty happy with. Now, let's have a bit more fun with this puzzle. Up next, I'll run a full overhead time-lapse of the build with no commentary, and then I'll experiment a bit with segmented and structured builds. I hope you enjoy those. I'll check in again shortly. And that brings us to the end of this sugary adventure. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending the time with me on this build. If you'd like to see more, there are plenty of other videos and playlists on the channel, including showcase builds, full overhead time lapses, and some more creative puzzle experiments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.